you said, and as also, are you increasing security for any other candidates as they campaign in the next couple of months? And how have we gotten here? This kind of rhetoric you talk about a lot that's harmful. Just curious how you see it's how we've gotten to this moment.
I have a lot of thoughts on that and probably give a longer answer than any you want to have to record. But I immediately went back in history in my mind. Buffalo, the site of the McKinley assassination, remembering the circumstances around JFK, Bobby Kennedy, Dr. Martin Luther King, the shooting of George Wallace. I mean, all these happened when I was a very young person, but politically cognizant of what was happening around me. And then, the attack on Ronald Reagan when I was, just getting to law school in Washington. And so there have been incidences like this before, all have different motivations. Ronald Reagan was someone trying to get the attention of a movie star. I mean, so you can never draw a clear line between the motivation. President McKinley was taken down by an anarchist at the Pan Am exhibition in Buffalo. So there has not been a common theme throughout. But what I've seen most recently, and not always the direct target is a political figure, but the manifestation of political hate that is driven on dark social media platforms gives people this sense of empowerment that, oh, this is horrible, I'm going to take this into my own hands and do something. Again, we have no evidence of that in this case. But I refer back to, the Christ King massacre in New Zealand, which was replicated online, the manifesto that was adopted by the person who committed the massacre on my neighbors in Buffalo. That same social media hatred, white supremacist groups. Look at the rise in anti-Semitism that has just risen to levels that no one could have foreseen. So much of this is fomented on social media platforms. And that's why when I see what's happening, the access of this information to our young people. The Buffalo shooter was 18 years old, had spent the last 2 years in a dark place during the pandemic, becoming radicalized online. That's what our social media efforts here on the state of New York, why I tripled the size of our monitoring of social media here in our state, because that is the next breeding ground for these people who use violence to promote political agendas. And so we've come a long way since 1901. But the result is that this is a more dangerous time because people feed on that and praise people and share doctrines and philosophies like they've never been able to before the advent of social media. That's why this time is even more dangerous.
So are you speeding up how fast the AG is going to put out those regulations? And also, have you spoken to President Biden?
No, I didn't have a chance to speak to the president. No, not since then.
So the AG, is she going to...
We're working my legal department's heavily involved in this too. I mean, by statute, it is the Attorney General, but we have our ideas on what we want to see, so we're working closely together, but certainly those conversations are ongoing.